Music was great though.
Yeah, I liked all the imitations of David Bowie songs. I actually felt like they could be David Bowie songs.
Yeah.
Which is the best compliment I can give to whoever did the soundtrack. And they have some really good use of music from like actual music.
Yeah.
From the period. So you got Satellite of Love, which is the Lou Reed song produced by David Bowie. You've got
T-Rex 20th Century Boy.
Yeah. You've got Ewan McGregor singing that great song by the Stooges. So you got lots of really nice little details, but I kind of wish we got into the whole like downfall side of it.
Yeah.
Like how all these people were torn down by the decadence and the greed, and David Bowie ironically was one of the ones who saw it coming.
Yeah.
So he just got out of there.
Yeah, it's a sort of frustrating film, really, isn't it? I mean, it's very enjoyable.
Yeah, definitely enjoyable. It's just definitely the work of someone who's clearly young, clearly talented, but doesn't quite know how to channel all those ideas. I feel I'm not there as a perfection of that kind of style, that kind of formula.
Give it out of 10.
Oh God!
I think it's a 7.
It's 7 out of 10. Yeah.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the film, and I enjoyed the little bits of it. Obviously, we know the legal background, but it would have been nice to have heard an actual David Bowie song in it.
Well, apparently the original script was much closer to his life.
Oh yeah.
Even more closer, obviously, and then they had to change things so David Bowie wouldn't sue him. Because David Bowie was planning his own film about his life.
Oh yeah.
Obviously it never panned out, but that would have been interesting to see how they could have done it even more so.
Yeah.
Maybe all the downfall stuff was taken out so we didn't sue him.
Maybe, yeah.
Because it's a weird, it's very top heavy.
I thought that, yeah.
Yeah. All the best sequences are in the first sort of hour.
Yeah.
It's when it ends the stuff where the wife is describing it, that's sort of when the film goes downhill a little bit.
Yeah, it kind of loses form. Yeah.
Yeah, and then it just sort of tapers out after that.
Then it reveals that Christian Bale's character slept with Kurt Wilde, or it might have all been in his dream, and I don't know. That
didn't go anywhere.
No, that was weird. I didn't really get that. That said, I did like the stuff about the relationship between David Slade and Kurt Wilde. I thought that was quite, it's quite interesting.
It was very interesting, yeah. Those were great as well, but yeah, just a very weird film. And there's just some stuff that's unnecessary and a little bit pretentious.
Yes, it was quite pretentious at times, yeah. But honestly, the whole thing that it's more celebrating glam rock, which I find even weirder because Todd Haynes is on. I was reading this when I was. He's on 50.
Yeah.
So he didn't really grow up in the whole glam rock era.
Well, he's American anyway, isn't he?
Yeah. So I don't really get the celebration factor.
No.
I've never seen so much glitter in a film. I'll put it that way.
No.
But yeah, there were times when it edged on pretentious. The whole thing about only people in our inner circle are more educated and refined and.
Well, I was thinking specifically of the bit where he's sort of performing in front of a bunch of people stood on that high seats.
Oh yeah.
And he's just saying random lines like, "The surface is all an artist dares, man." What is it? No, it's there are two things in life. There's the first level, which is surface, and the second, which nobody knows.
Oh yeah.
And it's just people reeling off bizarre, and the whole weird stuff at the beginning about the sort of the star going across and dropping the pin.
Yeah.
And the pin going through the film, and all the bits of just children and things, and
it's just that Oscar Wilde was I don't know.
The Oscar Wilde stuff is bizarre.
I didn't get that.
Could have been cut
because I have this pin which runs through the film, which apparently belonged to Oscar Wilde, and then it went to the transgender lady.
Yeah.
And then she gave it to Brian Slade, and then Brian Slade gave it to Kurt Wilde, and then Kurt Wilde gave it to Christian Bale at the end of the film.
What was that supposed to signify? Because it didn't signify, the essence of glam, or...
No.
It was just weird.
Yeah, it was really weird. What would have been cooler, it would have been the missing tapes of Brian Slade, that he recorded in the intervening years.
Yeah.
And it might even do an album cover, which is a reference to Low or something.
I did like the actual vinyl covers in the film.
They were great.
The one that was referencing Diamond Dogs was a highlight.
Yeah, where he's laying down on the red velvet background. Only it didn't have the dogs rear end as the cover. But yeah, all the little details, like the vinyls felt real.
Yeah.
They felt like you could go into a record shop and there's even a cover actually. You know that one of his albums, it was kind of like a white cover. If the one with Burn.
Yeah.
It was actually a cover like that for a David Bowie Best Of album.
Really?
For like his early 70s Ziggy Stardust era. And he's got one where he's like that, and it's all whited out, so it actually does look a little bit like that. So.
I didn't get that. Yeah, there's tons of references. Like,
really, really clever little references.
Yeah, if you're into glam and all, this must be like the best film.
Best film ever.
Yeah.
But then, like, they even do the whole thing when David Bowie was almost like a folk artist, and where he's at that festival.
Yeah.
He's dressed with really long hair, and he's wearing a gown as well.
Yeah.
Like David Bowie did on the Man Who Sold the World cover. And yeah,
those bits were good. The problem now is that the first half is much slower and about the little cumulative details, and then the second half obviously has to build to a conclusion is much faster paced, and I think it works quite as well.
Yeah.
But a very good, albeit frustrating film. It's certainly enjoyable and
worth a watch.
It's worth a watch. Yeah, I don't think it's one to return to over and over again.
No, like I said, I think if you want the perfection of that kind of film, I think I'm Not There is a definitely much more mature, better film.
Yeah. Can you imagine? Do you think they could make a better version of the same story? Like if David Bowie ever decided, or someone can make a
sanctioned version of his story.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think a kind of a kaleidoscopic take on it is probably the best way of going about it.
Yeah.
Like you said, these people are such big legends. David Bowie, Lou Reed, Iggy Pop. It's kind of, well, less so Iggy Pop. But, it's kind of hard to tackle these people in any kind of, realistic way.
Yeah.
The only thing that stood out a little bit to me was the V-necked guitars.
Yeah, what?
You have like your normal guitars.
Oh, yeah, I know what you mean.
And then there's like V-neck ones. I was thinking, I'm pretty sure they didn't have them in the early 70s. I'm pretty sure they weren't, I think, until the 80s, but whatever.
Yeah.
What do I know?
What do you... Yeah, definitely worth checking out. Any closing thoughts on Velvet Goldmine? Have you heard the song Velvet Goldmine?
The David Bowie song?
Yeah, the B Side.
Yeah, I know it. Yeah, very long time ago. But yeah,
that's a great song, isn't it?
And the band was called Venus in Furs.
Yeah.
Which is a reference to the Velvet Underground song, which is of course fronted by Lou Reed.
Well, there's a bit later on where it's right before he performs at that concert. He was like, they just released their Berlin albums.
Oh yeah.
And stuff like that. It's full of little...
See, I think there's scope to make a great film about Lou Reed when he was like an administrative accountant and how he became friends with David Bowie so he could produce his first solo album.
Yeah.
And that could be like the emotional climax of the film.
It would have no music in then.
And not until the end.
Not until the end.
Not until the end. Yeah.
That's perverse. People would hate that.
That would be great.
I think it'd be great, but I think it would turn off
Turn people off, yeah.
Which is exactly what you'd want from a Lou Reed biopic.
I'd want it to be as frustrating as the man's life and music, yeah.
Yeah.
But I think there's great scope for a Lou Reed film.
Yeah.
I don't know if he'll ever make it, or maybe Lou Reed losing his mind while making Berlin and Sally Can't Dance.
Yeah.
Oh, we also referenced the whole thing with Lou Reed, how he's given electroshock treatment as a child. Because his parents, he said... homosexual tendencies. So they actually gave him electroshock treatment, which was fucking awful.
Yeah.
They reference that in the film, don't they?
They do.
Only this sounds a lot more perverse because apparently Kurt Wilde slept with his brother.
Yeah. That was odd.
Yeah.
Watch The Man Who Fell to Earth.
Oh, that's great.
If you want a shadow biopic of David Bowie.
That's really weird.
Because that's almost like a sort of, it's like the landscape he was in at the time.
Yeah. The whole idea that he was the Starman, basically an alien, but at the end of the film he's become an enigmatic man and he's still making music. I do like that at the end of the film how he's cut a record, which that's fucking bizarre.
It is weird.
But yeah, I think The Man Who Fell to Earth is probably one of the best films to show the displacement of time.
Yeah.
Like how the film's ambitious enough so it doesn't tell you when time's passed, it just cuts to a next scene. It might have been months have passed.
I mean years.
Sometimes, yeah. It is a really great film. It is worth watching.
Yeah, I thought they even referenced that in this a bit. You know the bit where he watches TV and he keeps
I was
it?
thinking that. Yeah. Although there's not as many TVs, but I was thinking that.
Yeah.
I picked up on that.
But watch that first, and then this one if you're looking for your David Bowie fix.
Yeah, well, watch that. And if you don't own them, get the complete David Bowie box set. Then check out Lou Reed's Transformer. Then watch I'm Not There.
Yeah.
Watch Carol.
And then watch Velvet
And then watch Velvet Goldmine out of the Curiosity watch.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think it's worth watching.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone would. And I reckon people will hate it, actually.
Yeah, I can see why people would hate it.
I don't know how it got made. It was a terrible financial decision.
$10 million, I read.
Exactly. I mean, how did they think they were going to bring a film that includes copious amounts of male nudity and is about like I wouldn't say obscure, but people don't tend to recognise it as much now, the glam period.
Nah.
I mean, they could have made it, mid-90s wasn't exactly, glam's high point.
I was just thinking at some point, when Ewan McGregor's singing at the console, making his record, he's singing awfully. I was actually thinking Kurt Cobain.
Kurt Cobain?
Like, he
looks like
Kurt Cobain, yeah.
With those jumpers.
Yeah. I was thinking maybe he could start a Kurt Cobain biopic.
You couldn't do it now.
No, he's too old now.
He's too old, his career.
Too old and washed up.
It does remind you of a simpler time when Ewan McGregor had a career.
Yeah,
Christian Bale wasn't seen as an angry
kind of like a joke, yeah. Unlike now.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he's known for just swearing at cameramen, isn't he? And
that's fucking unprofessional. You're fucking unprofessional.
And Ewan McGregor's Obi-Wan.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, poor. And the woman was the woman in Krampus.
Oh no.
She was in Krampus, the woman who played his wife.
Oh no.
She was good in the film as well.
She was good, yeah.
Playing Angie Bowie.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Angie Bowie, yeah. There was no Zoe Bowie.
No Zoe Bowie.
No Duncan.
That was something they missed out on. They could have had a great bit where, he's got a son and it's...
Yeah.
And it's,
that could have made you emotional invested, but then I think that would have made him too flawed.
Too flawed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was brought down by his own artistic hubris. It was pretty pretentious.
It's a very pretentious film.
Yeah.
Just the way that characters say, like, the themes
out
loud was very... Yeah, it's a very strange, it's the worst Todd Haynes film I've seen.
Yeah. Out of the three I've seen, this has been by far my least favourite.
Yeah. I'd say good ideas, and it's certainly evocative of the period. It's just the main plot line.
It's amazing how far it's come when you get to Carol.
Well, yeah, just the difference in style and tone is just
he
amazing.
keeps it a little bit ambiguous in Carol, but he's got a really good handling of like how to tell an effective story.
Yeah. And he doesn't need to do just constant cuts and zooms and yeah.
Just let the scenes play out. Let them play out.
Yeah, because I thought some of the scenes are quite distractingly like just the amount of cuts and edits and things.
Yeah. So it was a bit unnecessary.
Yeah, like I mean, it was very. I suppose it got the sort of excitement of glam, but then what you'd do is you'd direct the later scenes in a really slow, methodical way to contrast it with the early stuff.
Yeah, you have fast edits and weird pan zooms and all that kind of stuff in the first half, and the second half it takes a lot longer, a lot more languid to show the transformation between glam at its prime as compared to what it's like now.
Yeah. So yeah, in the style of most things, it's not as bad as the people who hate it say, but it's not like a masterpiece like the cult audience will say.
Yeah.
I don't know why this film has such a big cult audience, really, because all the stuff in it is only the stuff that's most resonant, like, the costume design and the style. Why would you not just be a fan of glam rock?
Oh, yeah.
Why not just become a fan of Bowie if you're a fan of Brian Slade in the film? Do you think people who like Bowie will be the most attracted to this film, or do you think they'll find it frustrating there's not as much?
I think they'll be attracted to it out of curiosity to watch. I think most will know it's not actually about Bowie.
Yeah.
And then I think like us, they'll get a bit frustrated that it's not
doing everything it could.
Not doing it could do. Yeah. It's not the fact that it's not David Bowie. I can accept that.
Well, yeah, you have to be an asshole to say like it's not exactly the same.
It's not the same as David Bowie with like the 70s.
Yeah, he wasn't actually born in 1945. 1943.
And he wasn't born in Birmingham. He was born in East End, London.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to be right arsehole to do that. So the fact that it's not actually David Bowie, it's echoes of him, doesn't bother me. It's just the fact that the film doesn't do everything it could do with that concept.
Yeah.
More than anything.
But yeah, so both agree. 7 out of 10, pretty good.